even if it's just a small amount by leather. But if it's a chair, then it's not useful if it's not 5 tvachim, because you can't sit on it anymore. Okay, now the Mishnah says, Or sheyesh alav kazayis basar. It gets a little easier here. Skin that has on it a kazayis of flesh. So, and let's say it's nevela. So if someone touches a strand of meat that's sticking out of it, ubesara, or a hair that's sticking out of it, shekenegda, but it's directly next to that meat, then it's tamei. He becomes tamei. Let's say on this leather, on the skin, there's 2 half olive sizes of flesh. So that's metame b'masa. That makes you tamei by lifting it up, because you're lifting up a full kazayas, because there's 2 halves that are attached. V'lei b'maga, but not through touching. Divrei Rabbi Yishmael. That's the words of Rabbi Yishmael. Rabbi Akiva v'lei b'maga v'lei masa. Rabbi Akiva says if it's not in one spot, the flesh on the skin, it doesn't make you tamei. Not touching, not lifting it. But Maida Rabbi Akiva, however, Rabbi Akiva would be Maida b'shnei chatzoyzeshim shetachim b'kesim. That if you have 2 half olive sizes that are stuck onto a toothpick, a piece of wood, the hisitan, and you move them, shu tamei, that you do become tamei. So why over here does Rabbi Akiva say that you're tar if you lift it up? He says over here it's different. Over here the skin makes them buttle, because each one is not significant. So each one becomes buttle to the skin that it's attached to. But over there, it's just on a toothpick. It's not buttled to anything. But it's not buttle. It's buttled to something. So it's buttled to the skin. But over here, it's not buttled. Amar Ula Amar Rabbi Yochanan. Ula says the name Rabbi Yochanan Shanu Al Paltasi Chaya. When do we say that the kazayas is not buttle, and it makes the person that touches it tamei? That's only if it was bitten by a wild animal. Aval patasi sakin bottle, but if it was cut off by a knife, then it's going to be bottle even if it's a kazayas. Amalei Rab Nachman leUla. So Rab Nachman asks Ula, because Ula says this in the name of Rabbi Yochanan. He says, Amar Rabbi Yochanan afilu ketarta. Rabbi Yochanan would say this even by a ketarta, which is a quarter of a kav. He says that it's going to be bottle if it was left there by a knife. A person's not going to leave a whole thing of it. That he can cut off the side. It's not bottled over there. It should make him tamei. Amalayin. He says Rabbi Yochanan says it. He says vafilu kanafya. He's getting larger sizes, even like a sifter, which is a larger size of a piece. It's going to be, if it was left there by the person that's cutting it off, cutting the skin, he leaves a big piece. Amalayin. He says yes, it's going to be bottled because the person left it there. Amalei ho'alikim. He says this is like, my God. Even if Rabbi Yochanan would say this, if I would hear it from his own mouth, I'm not going to listen. Kisalak Rabbi Shia. When Rabbi Shia goes to Eretz Yisrael, it's a later Rabbi Shia. It can't be the early Rabbi Shia. It's a later Rabbi Shia. Ashkechila Rabami. He finds Rabami. Amar l'shmaiti kameh. He says this halach in front of him. Hachi Amar Ula. V'hachi ahad alei Rab Nachman. So says Ula, and so, this is what Rab Nachman said, that he wouldn't even listen to. Amalei. So Rabami says, Mishum de Rab Nachman chasnin de bein nesiyahu, because Rab Nachman, such a guy, is a son-in-law of the house of the Nasi, Rabbi Baravua. Mizalzel b'shmaiti de Rabbi Yochanan, so he's allowed to take lightly the words of Rabbi Yochanan, because he thinks he's so important. Zimne nashkechei di Yosef v'kamalei asefa. One time, Rabbi Shia finds Rabbi Vo that was learning this statement of Rabbi Yochanan, and he said it on the end of the Mishnah, which was when you have 2 half olive sizes. If there's 2 half olives of flesh, so it's mitame only by carrying, but not by touching. Rabbi Yishmael. This is the words of Rabbi Yishmael. Rabbi Kiva masa. It's not mitame, not by carrying, and not by touching. When do we say that Rabbi Yishmael says that it's metame by lifting it up? That's only if these pieces were bitten off. But if the butcher left it on the side, it won't be tamei. It would be batel. And these are not a kazayas. 2 half kazasim. Amalei. Rabbi Shi says, Mara Seifa Masnila. So it goes on. He says, the master taught this on the Seifa. We thought this was on the Reisha, the whole Reb Nachman thing. Amalei in? Yes, this was on the Seifa. Vela Ula Reisha Amran Alaychu. And now he continues telling him. He says, and did Ula say it on the Reisha? Amalei in. He says, yes, Ula said it on the Reisha. So Amalei. Now Reb Ami's turn. Kim, my God. Yamali Yeshua ben Nun Mishmei. That, even if Yeshua ben Nun would have said it, wow, I wouldn't have listened to it. A big discussion why Yeshua ben Nun. He could have said Moshe Rabbeinu.
Right. You can't say Moshe Rabbeinu.
So that's
can't argue with
it. Because that's.
So he's arguing about the two chatzos.
It's only on the two chatzos eisim that that there's a difference between if it was bit off or if it was cut off with a knife.
So what didn't he like about that? Rav Shia didn't like that?
No. Rabbi Ami now is saying that, back to Rabbi Shia, you heard this halacha regarding the first part, that it was on a kazayas. Now he's like agreeing with Reb Nachman. He's agreeing with Reb Nachman. He's accepting Reb Nachman's opinion. It's going to be too large.
Right.
Yeah.
So who's the one who says? Who's the one that says that I would not accept it? Rabbi Shia?
No, it's Rabami.
Rabami.
Yeah.
Originally, it was Rav Nachman who said it.
Right.
And
then Rabami responds negatively towards Rav Nachman.
Basically, Ula messed up the whole Gemara. He interpreted on the ratio.
That's for sure. He didn't mess up anything.
That's what caused all the problems.
Who's saying this over?
Ula said it was on the ratio. Rav Nachman says it's impossible. It can't be. You made a mistake somehow. So then they went to Rav Oshia went to Rabami and he repeated over the whole Gemara, and then
he said it's on the Sefer.
He said it's on the Sefer. Rav Oshia said it's on the Sefer, and then basically Rabami agrees.
So
it would have been on the Reisha.
So you're saying is that Rab Ami is now claiming against Ula and agreeing with Reb Nachman. Okay.
Right, that's why I understood. I mean, I'm just not sure, but it sounds like that.
Kiyasa Ravin v'chol nechusei. When Ravin came and all the nechusei, the people that came to Bavel, Amra Reisha, they taught it on the Reisha as well. Velakasha. But what about the problem? They said no one's going to accept that. That's crazy. It's so such a large piece that you're going to leave it over there. They weren't ready to accept that. It says Kedamar Rav Papa b'meradud. It's not a problem. It's talking about b'merudud. It was a very thin layer that even though it's the size of a sifter, but because it's so thin, you're not going to bother taking it off. That's too much of a hassle. Hachanami b'merudud. This is also when it's so thin. Okay. Can I go a little further?
Sure.
Hayo olav. If there was on it 2 half olives. Amar Barpada le'shanol elam acheruv. Barpada says if you touch it, Rabbi Shmuel says you're not tamei. Barpada says that's only if you touch it on the skin side. But if you touch it on the flesh side, aval milfanav yesh negea v'chayz v'negea. You touch this, you touch that. That's considered tamei.
Oh wow!
And
So
Rabbi Yochanan,
he connects it.
Rabbi Yochanan Amar ein negea v'chayz v'negea. Even if you touch it on the front, the actual meat, it's still not an issue. You see, he's learning it
What's
as.
yesh negea v'chayz? If you touch both of them,
Yeah.
you go 1, 2, and
I
then
think
you're.
so. Yeah.
But then you have to go back to the first one.
No. I
So
think you
what's
touch
the
this
chayzer?
and that, you touch the full
What's the
kazayas.
chayzer?
Negeya, v'chayzer v'negeya. And then you return and touch again. So the idea here is that according to Barpada, it's only because it's attached to the skin, and it's a small piece, so the skin doesn't consider it, it's not considered like a shaymer, because it's too small. Because it's not significant that the skin should be a shamer for something so small. But if you touch it itself, that's going to be tamei. Rabbi Yochanan says no. You didn't touch a kazayas. Was the Rabbi Yochanan tamei? Rabbi Yochanan goes according to his reasoning. Dam Rabbi Yochanan says Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Daisa ben Horkenes. Rabbi Shmuel and Rabbi Daisa ben Horkenes Amr Davarecha. They said the same thing. Rabbi Shmuel. What did Rabbi Shmuel say? Hadamran. That if you touch it, it doesn't connect. And now we have to see what Rabbi Daisa ben Horkenes says to see how to learn Rabbi Shmuel. Rabbi Daisa ben Horkenes did Tanan. What did he say? That was taught in the Mishnah. Kala mitam and ba'il shenechleku. Anything that's mitam and ba'il, for example, a kazayas of a mace. So, but it was cut in half. Now you bring in the half a kazayas into the house and the other half a kazayas into the house. Reb Daitzah ben Hyrcanus mitar. Daitzah ben Hyrcanus says that it's tahar. You didn't have a full kazayas together in the house. You have 2 half zaysim in the house. The chachamim are mitamim. Lav Amar Reb Daitzah ben Hyrcanus hasam ein mal b'chayzer umal. Hachanami ein negea b'chayzer v'negea. Just like Reb Daitzah ben Hyrcanus says that it can't have that it's mahil on a half azayas and then it's mal on another half azayas, so too you can't say that you touched half azayas and then you touch another half azayas, it's going to make you tummy. Umidir Reb Daitzah ben Hyrcanus Reb Yishmael, the Gemara now asks, if you look carefully at this, if Reb Daitzah ben Hyrcanus holds like Reb Yishmael, who argues on Reb Daitzah ben Hyrcanus? The Chachamim. They say that it is mahil and chayzer mahil. They say that it is tummy. So Rabbanan must argue on the one that argues on Rabbi Yishmael, which is Rabbi Akiva. Now Rabbi Akiva was more lenient. The Chachamim by Rabbi Daitzah ben Hyrcanus are more machmer. The Rabbi Akiva that argues on Yishmael is more lenient. We're trying to match it up. It's not matching up right. Rabbi Akiva b'turi matar. Rabbi Akiva is the more lenient one, not the more machmer one. The Gemara says, "Ad kan like matar Rabbi Akiva el ba'or." Rabbi Akiva was matar by the skin, like it says clearly. Why is Rabbi Akiva matar? Only because it's bottled to the skin. Aval ba'alma matame. But naturally, if it wasn't attached to skin, he would say it's tummy. Tani safe, as it says in the end. Rabbi Akiva says clearly that if you have 2 half zaysim that are attached by a stick, then it's tummy. So why does Rabbi Akiva matar? Because the skin combines it. Another few minutes. Yeah? Or should I stop there?
57.
Okay, let's stop.
Where does the Daf end?
Can I ask you a quick question?
It's about the Mishnah. We tried.
Can I ask you a quick question?